Hi, and welcome to the summary of the second success session of the year for 12th graders. There's only 2 success sessions this year, and this session is a very important one. It was held on Friday, March 23rd. If you missed it, you're going to want to pay attention to this video and the associated videos that describe how to use SC4's new service center to plan your progress, check your progress, and also to register for classes for the fall semester, which is coming up, as you will see. It's important at this point, now you're about halfway through your college program, to really start taking control of your plans and not just kind of floating along, like a lazy river ride. It will cost you time and money in the years to come. So the more focused you are, you've got a direction and you also have a team of people, like in this photograph, the better it is. So you want to identify what your academic goals are. What's the finish line to you? Set your goals and set goals to get you to that finish line, and then work with others. Work with middle college staff, work with SC4 staff, your parents, and then also start looking ahead and tapping into the staff at any future colleges or universities you might want to attend if you do plan on going to another school after SC4. And then you'll be much more happy and confident that you've gotten the most out of the middle college, and you'll find that you saved yourself literally tens of thousands of dollars. So now is a really important time to focus on planning for the future. 12th grade is ending in just a matter of a month or two, and it's time to start looking ahead at basically what you'll be as a full-time college student. At the success session, of course, we talked about a few news items and updates. We'll spend a lot of time on SC4 registration. Now, this success session is going to be a combination of a few videos. So we're going to try to break it up into shorter sections, but overall, it's going to take some time to get through them all. But you can kind of tackle them, in sections, if you will. A key is that you choose wisely for next year, because you're going to be picking 4 or 5 classes for the fall semester and another 4 or 5 classes in the winter semester. There's a new registration tool for SC4. You may or may not have seen it yet. If you log into your portal and then go to where the Wave used to be, it's now called the Service Center. And so Ms. Weimer is going to introduce that in a couple of videos to you, how to use it, an overview, how to use it for planning, and then how to actually register for classes. It's really a good tool. I think you'll like it, but at first it's going to look a little different to you. Just have to get used to that. I'm going to spend some time, and actually it is going to be a shorter separate video as well, on how to actually research future colleges. This is something you really should be doing in the next few months, definitely over the summer, to know where you might apply if you are applying on to another college or university, and many of our students do, but not all of our students. But if that applies to you, we want you to know how to get to a college website and kind of what to look for when you're there, because they're really huge. Especially the bigger universities have really significant sites. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how to look at those and how to narrow it down to your academic program there, what it might be, because that can help you decide what to choose in terms of classes next year at SC4, because everything you get here completed is going to be something that's going to save you time and money at the next school, which is going to be a lot more expensive than this was. So that's when it comes to the increasing credit transfer success on here. So we're going to look at what's a bachelor's degree, what's a major, a minor, and so on. And then the final part of this presentation will be on some things to think about in preparation for applying to colleges and universities in the fall. And for some of you, that could start as early as August. We have some students that get right on the ball and get some applications in late summer or early fall. So we'll just talk a little bit about that for those folks who want to get on it right away. We'll spend a lot more time early in the fall to help all our students, our grade 13 students at that time, that'll be you, learn how to apply as a middle college student. So we'll just take a couple minutes on that today. News and updates, textbooks, and any materials you have related to this semester need to come back by Friday, May 11th. Now, we will begin accepting books on April 23rd. That's a week before finals week. And don't turn your books in if you still need them to study, okay? We want to get all the books back in timely manner, but we don't want you to turn them in early just to avoid the late fee or whatever. So hang on to the books you need to study for finals. But the absolute deadline is Friday, May 11th. Now that's 1 week after finals. If your books are not in then, your fall courses will be dropped from your schedule. So if you've got a great schedule planned, and it's like, those courses fill up, but you've got a seat in them, if your books aren't back, your courses will be dropped and a $25 late fee will be assessed. And some of you may have already paid that this semester or even for 2 semesters. I hope not. But you will be assessed a $25 fee. We need those books in on time so we can get them organized and start planning to see what we need to buy for the fall semester. Okay, so that's got to be done. So best thing is to do is bring them when finals end that week of May, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Bring them in that week, and if not, very early the next week. Okay, iPads, I think you know how this works. You can keep them over the summer. You're welcome to turn it in for safekeeping if you want. If you do hang on to them, just don't take it to the beach or poolside or something like that. Water, sand, those are the biggest risks to a device like that. If yours is damaged, the screen is broken or something like that, and you're tired of using it the way it is, let us know, bring it in, and we'll get it repaired for you. There will be a cost to it. If it's a broken screen, it could be $100, but then you've got a device that's fresh and working the way it should back in your hand. So I would say if something's not working right, let us know now. You can get it fixed. Looking ahead to the end of next year, the end of grade 13, it's likely that we will be able to sell the devices to you. That's never a sure thing until we look at everything that actual year. But the last 3 years, we've been able to offer the devices to students for a fee. Last year, it was $50. I expect it would be the same. No guarantee on that, but it's likely that you would be able to purchase it. So if you get it fixed up one way or the other, you'll have a device that likely you can purchase and continue to use. So that's, but I'm not promising that, but that's likely to be the case. When it comes to grades right now, there are 4 weeks left, depending on when you view this. Might be a little less, but at least 3 or 4 weeks, including the spring break. That's actually for your those of you who are, I guess that's all of you, still in high school now. So use that spring break time when you don't have high school classes to maybe catch up on your college classes. Spend a little more time on any significant papers or reports that are coming up. There is still plenty of time to bring up low grades. You only need a D- or better in most classes. That's D as in dog, but I don't want you to, shoot for that, but you get the credits for your class even with a D grade. So I don't want you to think about withdrawing and at this point unless it's a sure thing that you're not going to pass it, okay? So go to every class from here on out, connect with your instructor. If you haven't really talked to him or her, or if it's been a few weeks, touch base and say, you know what, I really want to push at the end. Help me get the best grade possible. You know where the supports are on campus. If you have never used the Math Center or the Writing Center, contact one of us and we'll help you find out where it is. We'll even take you over there and show you how to sign in and get started. And it just takes that one time and then you're more comfortable. Keep your SC4 grade point above 2.0. That's your college cumulative. If it drops below 2.0, then you risk being on academic warning, which is not the end of the world. But if one more semester goes by and you don't get that college grade point back above 2.0, it can really impact you. The next slide, I think, will look at that. The deadline to withdraw from classes is not April 1st. It's April 20th. So this is incorrect. It's a Friday. It's April 20th, which means you've got a lot of time to continue to keep building up those classes. So this is incorrect. So hopefully you're listening to me. April 1st. I did not change the slide in time. I apologize for that. But the deadline is Friday, April 20th. The key is if you're really struggling in a class and don't think you have a chance of passing, contact one of us and we'll sit down with you. We'll be honest with you. But we probably will challenge you to stick it out and keep going, especially if it's likely that you can get a C or a D in that class. One class is not going to greatly affect your grade point average. It's just not. So keep that in mind. The academic warning status that I talked to you about just a minute or so ago, if your college grade point slips below a 2.0 at the end of a semester, then you're placed on academic warning for the next semester. So as you entered the fall, you'd be on academic warning. Now, no big changes for you unless the GPA stays below a 2.0. And then what that means is the next semester you're suspended from taking classes. So for you, that would be winter semester, and you would not be able to take college classes your final semester in the Blue Water Middle College. So work hard on getting it as high as you can. If it's below 2.0, Ms. Weimer, Mrs. Barr will already have been in touch with you. I hope you're following up on their emails and meeting with them because they're trying to help you. Work hard the next few weeks. Every 10th of a grade point average can count, and that can keep you above a 2.0 and off of academic warning. Most of you are now beyond developmental education courses, but a few of our students still place into Math 81, Math 82, English 75, and so on, a course in English or math that's less than 100. So if you currently place into one of those courses, please contact us right away, and we'll talk to you about options. There are still a few options to take a summer class for those of you that place into Math 102 or maybe can place into Math 102 that allow you to take a class that will move you forward, okay? Because the middle college cannot pay for courses that start or that have a number less than 100, okay? But we'll help you look at your options and look at the costs of the class and so on. We just want you to be able to continue moving forward in your program of study, okay? 8th grade tours are coming up, actually a good month and a half away or so, but late in May, very early June. The middle college has always been good and helpful to SC4 by providing campus tour guides for when the 8th graders come. And basically every 8th grader in the county visits SC4. You probably did a few years ago. And so I encourage you to respond and offer to help. I'm going to send an email out in the middle of June asking students to respond if they're interested. It's only one day that we need you. They don't need you for 4 days, although they have 4 different days that they bring students in. If you're still taking classes at your high school, and if it's not a finals day, you will likely be excused from your high school classes on school business because you're helping us out. Several of the high schools, the students will already be done by the end of May and early June. You can work with a friend. I'll explain that in the email. Just both of you have to reply with the same day that you want to work and just indicate each other as wanting to work together. Okay, so keep an eye out for that email, and we'd appreciate it if you're willing to help. High school commencement is not that far away. You do need to have completed all your high school graduation requirements to qualify to walk. Our student advisors, Mrs. Barr and Ms. Weimer, are in touch with the high school counselors, but there's things that likely you need to pass this semester to be able to walk. And so if you're not sure about what you need or if you're finishing everything, contact Mrs. Barr right away, and she'll help look at what your requirements and how you're doing to fulfill them. Okay. I'm going to take a quick pause and then come back and we'll start talking about fall registration and choosing classes. Okay, fall registration at SC4 opens Monday, April 9th. And there, as every semester, there's several things you want to consider when choosing classes. And so I'm going to list those and we'll kind of break those out over a series of slides and then another related video presentation. But one of the things, of course, is knowing what courses you still need for your degree. Are there any prerequisite courses that you need? This tends to apply more for students in the applied degrees when it comes to a certain electronics or robotics course. Some of them are prerequisites for others. So if you're getting to that point, for example, where you're pursuing an accounting degree and you need accounting 212, you have to make sure to take accounting 211 in the fall. Okay. If you need English 102 and you have not yet taken English 101, you have to take English 101 in the fall. Okay, so keep that in mind. Another thing is to consider what courses now will transfer to other colleges and universities. So again, many of you I know are looking to go on to a 4-year school, and every course that you choose that will transfer to one of those schools you might want to attend, is going to save you time and a lot of money. So these are some things we'll look at in the slides ahead. A final thing is a math-related course for high school. So even though many of you will have completed 4 math credits, some of you more, the state of Michigan says you must take a math-related course or have a math-related experience your final year of high school. And assuming you're coming back for year 13 or grade 13 here, your final year of high school will be next year. So for those of you who have a need in an SC4 math class, or you're going to take one because it's going to help you down the road, you will be all set. If you don't need or want to take any more college math at SC4, we have an option for you. It's an online course called Financial Math. It is not a full college course. It's not even a full high school course, but it's something that must be completed at some point next year for you to get your high school diploma. And so we'll be in touch about that. But we're going to look at everyone's schedule in the fall, see who has a math class. If not, then we'll be in touch saying you have to take a math class at SC4 in winter semester, or you can complete financial math. Okay? It's important to spend some time now, you guys. This is really time for you to step up as a young person, as a college student, because of several things. You don't want to be that student that could have saved literally tens of thousands of dollars in a year of time if you had only researched classes that were more certain to transfer, but you didn't. You didn't take the time to do that. You don't want to be that student, and we have them every year, that ends up 1 or 2 courses or 1 or 2 credits short of earning your degree next May. So we want you to know how many credits you need going into next year. And if you can do it in the 2 semesters, fall and winter, why not get it done then, rather than have it just kind of be hanging out there incomplete, maybe needing 1 or 2 more courses, okay? So make sure you know exactly what you need, and again, don't withdraw, okay? Pass your classes, even with a D or D minus, and don't withdraw, and you should be in good shape. You don't want to be that student who can't finish on time because you didn't take a prerequisite you needed for a required course. We've talked about that already. Knowing what you need for your college degree really is on your shoulders. We can't look at every student and say this is exactly what you need, because frankly, students change what they're interested in. They change their program of study. Somebody might have started out pursuing an associate in science, and now they've shifted to an associate in arts, or vice versa. So there are people and tools to help, but it's up to you to access them, the tools and the people, okay? The people include the SC4 academic advisors and middle college staff. So in the middle college, we're glad to help, and we'll sit down and help you plan this all out and see what's required. But keep in mind, we give you the high school diploma. It's SC4 that issues the college degree. So you need to visit with an SC4 academic advisor. This time of year, spring, summer, is a great time to do that. They've got time, you've got time. Get in there and have them look over your plan, make sure you're on track. Now, there's a new tool, if you will, or screen in the service center that you're going to see, and it's called My Progress. And so it really breaks things down specifically for you, how many classes you still need in this category or that category. It lets you know what's in progress and so on. So you're going to learn more about that, but that's a great tool. And then in the lower left of this screen, it says your program of study template, graduation worksheets, Michigan Transfer Agreement worksheet, etc. Those are still available. We've used those for several years since we opened, actually, and they still work. Okay, I'm going to show you how to access those. If you go to our website, it's no longer new, but the bluewatermiddlecollege.org website, I'm going to show you how in the current students section you can find these tools. So I'm going to go to bluewatermiddlecollege.org, and then we're going to go to current students, planning your degree, and so on. So let's back out of the presentation for a bit. And so right now, if I go to bluewatermiddlecollege.org, here is the page, our home page, okay? As I mentioned, if you go under current students and planning for your degree, it's going to provide some information. And again, the template can be downloaded here, either a PDF or a Word version if you want to type into the template. Okay, we're also going to be providing an updated version of that we'd like you to complete, and that's going to be one of the tasks related to this session if you did not attend in person. The folks that were there in person had to complete this or have to and turn it in. So do you, even if you didn't attend. It's very important that we get this template back to see where you stand. It lists several things to consider when choosing SC4 classes. Most of you are now beyond the part of like number 4 high school graduation requirements. So that's one that probably doesn't apply anymore. For some of you it might. And there's a little video about choosing classes that was posted in the fall about the winter classes. You can view that. But here's what I wanted to show you. At the bottom of that page, when you click on this link, it takes you back to a page on our old website, which is still alive, the site is, and there are several worksheets that you can click on. Now, you guys, if you're viewing this, it's very likely that you came in 2016. So if you're following those requirements, if you click, for example, on 2016-17 Associate Degree in Arts, it'll open up a PDF sheet that you can print. And then you can fill in what you've taken. Almost all of you, I assume, have met with one of us and had us work through this worksheet with you. And if you're not sure how to utilize the sheet, just let us know. We'll be glad to help. Okay, so this is one where you'd want to print it out and then write on it and basically fill in the number of credits and see where you stand, what's still left for your requirements. Okay, so that's how to use the scheduling documents posted here. There is a worksheet for the Michigan Transfer Agreement on here. Right there is where it is. The math pathways at SC4 have changed, so we have to update this. There are some recent changes to the degrees that occurred literally just in the last week, and so we haven't had a chance to update all these. They would be listed under 2018-19 worksheets. That's okay. You can choose a more recent catalog year to fulfill the requirements for that year. So you can choose a more recent one after you got into the SC4, but you can't go back in time to choose one that was in place before you got here. Okay? So if you haven't been to this area in a while, you can click around and see what some of these things are. Again, some are a little older in terms of they wouldn't apply to you, but they do apply to some of our students in their final year. Okay? So back now to the presentation. Okay. So prerequisites, we talked about those. Just here are some examples. If you haven't, you need to get to English 102, make sure you take English 101 in the fall. Accounting 212, make sure you take Accounting 211. Same thing with chemistry. If you want to take a chemistry class, a lot of times SC4 offers the first course in the fall and then the second of a series in the winter. So sometimes if you wait to take chemistry in the winter, you can't find a section of it because it's not offered or they only offer one and it doesn't work with your schedule. Okay, so really look at your prerequisites. That's why it's important to use this template and to fill it in, even with pencil right now, the template for planning your program. Know what you need. Okay, plan your last 2 semesters, not just one semester at a time. Here's the new program of study sheet that Ms. Weimer put together, and it should be very helpful. Again, you'd fill in your courses. She did a nice example of it here. You'd write your courses, what you took this year, and now you only have one last semester to go. If you want to take a summer course, you can always plug it in somewhere in between, but you want to add up your credits. So especially, at the bottom, look how she added up the credits. So you know how many you need to get to 62. Okay, in this example, the student has 32 finished at the end of 12th grade, so they need 30 in year 13, and that's a good place to be. 15 and 15 is just about average. Okay, the middle college can pay for up to 34 credits, 17 each semester, but that's a heavy load. So see if you get where you add everything up and you're looking at 31, 32 credits for the year next year. That's in a good place, pretty good place to be. Okay. Prerequisite courses, let me see, your SAT score. Again, most of you have already taken English 101. Most of you have already taken a math at 100 level or higher. But if not, and you're not sure where you place your English SAT score that you would have actually gotten last year could place you into English 101, and same thing with the math. So just basically, in short, contact us. And if you haven't taken English 101 yet, or Math 104 or 102, get in touch with us right away so we can help you plan. Okay. There is a chart for using SAT scores to place you, and the address for that is right here. So that's the address for that. So you can pause and go to that if you want. There it is again, tinyurl.com. Okay. Here's the chart for the AccuPlacer. So if you want, I think when you first enrolled in the middle college, you had to take the Compass test, but then it quickly switched over to the AccuPlacer. You can take this. It's similar to the Compass, and you can work on improving your placement into math, for example. Okay, again, we'll help with this, or the SC4 advisors can help as well. All right, transferability. That's something else to consider, right? So things to consider: courses needed for your degree, prerequisites, and then courses that will transfer on to a university. So to ensure better transferability, you have to have a good idea of what career you want to pursue. That leads to what level of education is required. Do you need a bachelor's degree? Do you need a master's degree? And so on. Or is an associate degree enough? Assuming it's a bachelor's degree, which is why you'd be thinking of transferability, what degree are you seeking, and what are the requirements for the major and minor in those areas, or at least the major, what they call, and we'll talk about that later. What college or university might you want to attend? And it's good to have a list of 2, 3, or 4 and check each class. So if I take, for example, developmental psychology, if that's going to help me at all of my universities, no matter where I go, because I haven't decided yet, that's a great thing. So try to identify all the ones you might want to attend. Career cruising can help with all the above, and I'm going to show you another tool in the associated video that can help as well. Okay. So how to find out what will transfer? You can research on your own using college websites. You can Google or go to the college site and search for transfer guide. I'm going to show you an example of one of those. They're fantastic, but not all universities have them. Meeting with an SC4 advisor is a great idea. They are really strong in helping students determine what's going to transfer to different schools. It's one of the things they do. Because most students, or many students that attend SC4, end up transferring on. We can also help. Any of us would be glad to help with this, so make an appointment with us, but you're getting to that point now where it's probably best to go see an SC4 advisor. And another key thing is meeting all the Michigan Transfer Agreement requirements. We've talked about that now for a couple of years. You can check your progress towards the MTA in the new service center, which is very cool. Ms. Weimer will show you that, or if you're not sure where to see it, then let one of us know. But the MTA, again, just as a quick review, is a collection of 30 general education credit hours that most Michigan colleges have agreed to accept. So if you fulfill the requirements at SC4, and on your transcript it'll say MTA fulfilled, then you take that to Oakland, Western Michigan, Wayne State, Michigan State, and basically all of their general ed credit requirements have been met. They don't look at it course by course. They just say, boom, you've done this. And it can really save you time and money. Okay. SC4 has designed their Associate of Arts and Associate of Science degrees to meet virtually all the MTA requirements, but there are still some choices you have to make wisely to get the MTA, because you can get the Associate in Arts and the Associate in Science without getting the MTA if you're not careful. Okay. I am not going to focus on the MTA requirements right now. In that scheduling docs and links page that I showed you, there is a worksheet that shows the MTA requirements, and you can go ahead and see which courses you filled in. Again, you'll also see that it's available to check out in the new Service Center module in your portal. Okay? So I'm going to take a quick pause here and be right back. Okay, I'm going to wrap up now. Well, I'm not going to wrap up now, but we have a few slides to go in this initial presentation, and then I'm going to upload that as a separate video and then come back and show you how to research the actual colleges and academic programs. If you remember when we talked about, knowing what's going to transfer, one of the first things you have to do is know what you want to do, because then that helps you decide what college I want to go to and what bachelor's degree I want to pursue and so on. So if you're not sure about exactly what the degree is that you're going to want down the road, again, there are tools for you to use. Career cruising, if you can still remember your login, if not, you can ask your counselor, can still be an important tool. So you likely have some careers identified there. If you haven't already done so, go back in there, click on the career, and then off to the left there'll be a button where it'll talk about education, and then within that page, if you will, that section, it might talk about related college program. So when you dig into career cruising, you want to really focus on the education side, and then it will let you know what types of degrees and programs are required for that career. Of course, career cruising can also help you identify a career. If you go back and retake some of those assessments and just do it really seriously now, because it is kind of crunch time in terms of figuring out what you want to do. Okay. SC4 has a tool. I'll show you a screenshot of it on the next slide. It's called Career Coach. So if you go to sc4.edu/career coach, they have a real short assessment, about 6 questions, that can give you an idea of some possible careers and the related programs at SC4 if they have them. And you can take an assessment with about 60 questions that really helps you kind of zero in on what you might want to do. So it's kind of like career cruising, but it's just a different tool. You might like that better. Okay, here's a screenshot of the Career Coach homepage. If you know exactly what you want to do, and so if you click on, you want to be a physical therapist or an accountant or something like that, boom, you can type that right in, click search, and then you'll get to its main page. If you want to do an assessment because you're not exactly sure, up here in the upper right, click on assessment, and it'll have 2 different choices: the very short few question assessment, and then there's a longer one. And either way will get you into more information on the career. You can find out, how much it pays, what's it likely to do in terms of job growth in the future, and so on. So again, just another tool to help you narrow down your career focus if you don't know exactly what you want to do. Okay. So some final things about choosing classes, and we're going to get back to the credit transfer part. Okay, so that's going to be kind of coming up in another video. But for now, know your prerequisites. Those are key. Make sure you're getting to 62. If you've had any courses in the past that are such as English 75 or Math 75, they do not count towards the 62. So if your total says I'll have 32 credits at the end of this year, you think that's good. But if 5 of them were for Math 75, you actually only have 27 credits towards the degree, so keep that in mind. The tendency maybe is to think about taking online courses out of your 4 or 5 courses. One might be okay. I don't know that I'd sign up for any more than 1, 2 at the most, and you have to know yourself. If you're good, self-disciplined, and you can kind of work well on your own, you can try an online course. Otherwise, they are risky, and often students don't do too well in them. I shouldn't say that. They do okay, but students tend to struggle more in an online than a face-to-face course. Don't stack too many on 2 days, on just a couple of days. You're now going to be a full-time college student, and it's rare that a student puts more than 3 classes on 1 day, and even that can be sometimes a problem. So don't say, well, I'm just going to go Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm going to take 4 or 5 classes on that day. It will lead to problems. And then just watch out with working. Now that high school will be over, sometimes your boss might want you to take on 25, 30, 35 hours. Sometimes I hear that's really foolish, because if you say, well, yeah, but it's great money, I'm making $100, $200 a week. If your grades are struggling and you're failing classes, for one, but even grades less than C are not going to transfer on. So if you get a D because you're working so hard you don't have time to study, that D counts for your SC4 degree, but if it doesn't transfer on, it's going to cost you up to $2,000. And so that's really a huge trade-off and a poor trade-off. So try not to plan on working too much next year. Okay, so a review for registration right now. It opens on Monday, April 9th. Remember, if you're all set and have your courses all ready to go, which you can do with this new system, by April 8th, you just have to wake up at midnight on the April 8th, that night or whatever, the morning of April 9th, and log in and click, register. You'll see how to do it, and you should be all set. Fall classes are viewable now. It's actually March 26th as I record this, and so they are out there. You can see what courses are offered and when in that new service center. Use the service center tools to plan and to register. You don't have to register for all your classes at once, but if you can get everything all set and it all looks good and fits, then go ahead and do it all at once, and you've locked it in, you've got your seats, and you can relax over the summer. But in case you're not ready to choose a couple other classes, you can put down one or two classes you know you absolutely need, get a seat in those, and then you can work your schedule around those. Okay? The service center, I'm going to go through this really quickly because Miss Weimer has some nice videos on how to use the service center. The Wave is where you used to register for classes and kind of keep track of things, but it's now been replaced with a new system or component in your portal called Service Center. Miss Weimer will show you how to use it with a video, and so and if you view that and then you still don't understand it, come on in, we will be glad to help, or you can meet with an SC4 advisor. We just would like you to view the videos first. We don't, we can't take each student through it and take an hour to do so. So view the videos. You guys are pretty good with this stuff, but we understand it's not all really intuitive. In other words, it doesn't all come easily to everyone. So view the videos. That will help. You can use it as a tool for planning your program of study. You'll see how you can drag classes out 2 or 3 semesters or years actually into the future. Without knowing when they're offered, you can say, I'm going to take biology in the winter of 2019. So it's okay to do that. You can keep track of the credits you've earned, the credits you still need to earn, required classes. You can check course placement. There's a test summary section, and basically create your schedule and complete the registration process. Okay, so that's all coming in the service center. You'll see in the email that you receive or on our planning pages links to the video to help. Okay, so now another exciting thing coming up for you guys is the applications to colleges, and it really should be something that's exciting. Yes, it can be a little bit to do and keep track of everything, but it's kind of cool, especially when you start hearing back from those colleges and universities that you are accepted and they want you to attend. So it's a pretty cool thing. That's coming up late summer, early fall. You can apply throughout all of next year, but it's much better to submit your applications in August, September, or October. September and October are really the most important months for that. But you should take steps now to be ready for that. I'm going to show you when we're going to visit a couple school websites and show you how to schedule an official visit and so on. So you can dig in there, get a lot of information. They have virtual tours where you can see the dorm rooms and some of the buildings. You can see if they have the academic programs that you're interested in. And summer's a great time to visit colleges. Not only do you have time, maybe your parents have time, and the campuses are a little quieter. There's still activity on them, but you can get there and get an official tour of the campus without being too run over by too many people, I guess, rushing off to class. But I will recommend and show you how to schedule either online or you can call to get an official full tour. Some things to keep in mind if you're going to apply early. First of all, we will have a success session. It's usually late August or early September, going through in great detail how to apply to colleges as a middle college student. Okay, it's a little bit different than a traditional 12th grader applying, but really much of it is the same. If you want to get started ahead of time, though, it's great. Sometimes we hear in August, before we've even had the session, that students say, Mr. Spencer, I'm accepted to Central Michigan. So it can happen that quickly. But keep these things in mind if you're going to apply early. You should apply as a freshman. Your high school is the Blue Water Middle College Academy. Okay? Not Port Huron High School or KPAC or wherever you're going to be marching this spring. It's the Blue Water Middle College Academy is your official high school. And when it comes to requesting your transcripts, you request them from us. Contact one of us this summer if you're going to be applying, and we'll help you request the transcript. Okay? There is a handout that addresses this a little bit and the whole getting into colleges and their websites, which is this other video, that will be posted as well. So this information right now is on that handout. Okay. This part is not. I strongly recommend you retake the SAT if you haven't already done so. It's very likely your score will go up, and that's going to help you because it will give you a much better chance at earning a scholarship and also getting into the schools that you're interested in. Okay, so if you have retaken it, let us know so we make sure we've got your best and latest score that we can put on your transcript and report to colleges. Otherwise, you can request directly from the College Board site to get your latest SAT scores sent to a college and university if you didn't already request it to go there. Okay, retaking it, it can make a big difference just by increasing 20, 30, 40 points. Who knows, if you go up 100 or more, it can make it much more likely you get accepted into a college that you want to attend when you apply. And also, you have a much greater chance of qualifying for significant scholarship dollars. That's where most of the scholarships are offered. It's based on your high school grade point average and your SAT scores. Okay. You probably should retake it. You've likely improved as a reader and writer and probably in mathematics. You've experienced the test at least once, and that does help increase your score. And as long as you're willing to practice a bit to kind of get back into that SAT mode like you were in 11th grade, your score will very likely go up. So you go to the College Board website. I'm not going to take the time to demo that, but you can go to collegeboard.org. There's a lot of things they offer there, but find the SAT. There will be a link to register for the SAT, and then within that page there will be test dates. I recommend the June 2nd date. For a lot of you, your graduation ceremonies and so on will be over. College ends on May 4th. That gives you only almost a month without college classes to do some practice. And your scores will be back by late June or early July. So you can use those when applying to colleges. There's an August 25th date as well, and even later into the fall. But the longer you go, the less likely your scores might be able to be used for scholarships and so on. Okay. As to where it's offered, you can click on the link that says Find Test Centers. Just put Michigan down there, and you'll see if there's some places near you. SC4 has now started offering the SAT, which is a good thing, but not necessarily on all of those dates. The cost will be $46. You do not need to sign up for the essay. Okay, so keep that in mind. All you need is the regular test. You do not need to write a new essay. Colleges really don't look at the essay score. Okay. Yes, you should practice before you retake it. The College Board site and the Khan Academy sites, if you remember, have great free practice tests and information. And we have a SAT prep page listed on the current students website. If you go there, there's a video on how to access the Khan site for free. Okay, if you have questions about any of this, please contact us. Okay. So what I'm going to do is end this video, and then I will be back with a new video posted online, and a link will probably be provided in the email you receive on how to research college sites to get more information about academic programs they offer. Okay? All right. There will be a assignment related to this. You will find it in the email from Ms. Weimer if you did not attend the session, and it may be posted online as well. So I'm not going to focus as much on this, but this is likely what the assignment will be. It's what we asked the students who attended to do. Okay? So keep an eye out for that email. This cartoon kind of says it all. The student says, Mr. Osborne, may I be excused? My brain is full. A lot of information, but you guys can do it, okay? And we can help. Thanks.